All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic as always, because in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the Yieldmax ETFs. And more specifically, we're going to be estimating some of their future dividend yields for the month of October. For those of you guys that don't know, Yieldmax has a ex-dividend date. I'm pretty sure it's October 6th, so you have to buy by October 5th. None of their future dividend is not listed yet. It'll be listed on October 5th, which is going to be tomorrow. That's their declaration date. But what we're going to do in this video is we're going to go through each Yieldmax fund. I'm going to do a little estimate based on the previous stock price history and the movement and volatility within their underlying stocks. And so I hope that sounds good. It's going to be a quick video. It's not going to be anything long. I just want to quickly give you my opinions on each of the Yieldmax funds and what I think they're going to be paying. So if that does sound good, we're up to 2,830 subscribers. Gained 30 subscribers in one day. Congratulations, guys. That's a pretty good marker. In the last video, 1 out of 10, getting 2.2K views. Absolutely fantastic. And I guess you guys enjoyed it because that's about 5.5 minutes of watch time on an 11-minute video. So thank you guys to everyone who watched that, and let's get into this video. But before we analyze these Yieldmax funds, what I do want to say is that Clip did pay me the dividend. If you want to look over here, so I received roughly $78 in dividends from Clip, but with the tax subtracted, it came out to $66.34. That is this amount right here with the tax subtracted. But the reason why it was a lot lower was because Clip's dividend was significantly dropped, maybe about like 9-10% right there. As you can see, they only paid out 75 cents per share. But the fact that I was reinvesting and I do have about 99 shares of Clip, as you can see right here, is the fact that I was still able to receive about this 73 marker, but obviously tax deducted. So for those of you guys that were just concerned about the Clip dividend, I wanted to bring that up to you guys and show you that I did receive mine. Clip always pays a late dividend. I know some people get freaked out because they're saying, oh, like I didn't receive my dividend. They will pay the dividend. They are sometimes late. But besides that fact, we're talking about the Yieldmax funds, and we're talking about stocks like TSLY and what they're going to pay in the post month, the next month, which is October. Month coming up. So what I want to do here is I just want to go to their underlying stock, which is Tesla, and we're going to estimate and see how much TSLY is going to pay because they write synthetic cover calls on Tesla. And so whatever Tesla stock price does and the volatility that it produces is going to be the volatility and the dividends that pretty much TSLY pays out. So when looking at Tesla over the past month, what I do want to notice is that TSLY had a pretty massive dividend reduction in the previous month of 58 cents all the way down from 83 cents. And so when we're looking at Tesla over the past month, when it had the kind of like the small dividend, you could see like it started roughly at about 256 and kind of ended about a similar marker or so. Like it started about 245, I would say, and ended about like 240, 246, 244, somewhere in that territory, right? In this month so far, we're about like 257-ish, and Yieldmax is kind of traded down to about $246. I think if Tesla was to depreciate a little bit more, we might see a little bit more of a dividend, but I do think it's going to be greater than this last dividend just because this last dividend was probably just collecting the option premium and the income created by treasuries because that's what Yieldmax holds as collateral. So there was not much volatility within this dividend is what I'm trying to say, but there is within this one here. And I do think TSLY's dividend is probably going to be closer to this one, this 83 cent, but I don't think it's going to be exactly 83 cents. I think it might be about 75 cents, what we've seen in the Clip dividend here, just due to the lack of kind of a lot of volatility that we normally see with the Tesla stock, as you can see in these fluctuation periods right here. So now going back, what I want to do, I think TSLY is going to pay roughly a 70-cent dividend. We can go to NVDY because I know this is another like pretty high paying stock. So NVDA is their underlying ticker symbol. So we're going to go to NVIDIA, and there is currently a squirrel at my window. Jeez. Nice little surprise right there in the morning. Got to wake you up somehow. Let's see. No, that is not right. NVDA. Okay, let's do it. NVIDIA Corporation. That sounds more like it. I don't know what we were getting at before, but NVDY has been paying some pretty substantial dividends like TSLY, but they seem to be a little bit more consistent. So when looking at the past month of NVDA, you can see that there's a pretty significant downtrend right here. Wow, look at that. That's looking like maybe like 10, I wouldn't say 10%, but I say more like 5 to 7%, which could produce a pretty good dividend. I think the dividend's going to be within this 80 cent to 90 cent marker. Just looking over the fact that like there was a pretty good amount of depreciation, which plays into that volatility, which is going to bring them that option premium. So I do think NVDY is going to produce a dividend about 90 cents or so. I have confidence in saying that. So that's one to definitely look out for. Another one that I'm going to comment on is AMZY, because Amazon tends to do pretty similar to stocks such as AMZY and Google, GOOY, FBY, kind of those like more like tech or big kind of like business sectors. So what I want to do here is go over the stock price of Amazon, and as you can see here as well, a lot of these companies are taking pretty decent sized hits to the downside, which, although obviously decreases the capital gains of the Yieldmax funds, it should produce a decently big dividend. So what I want to do here is just go back to the 6 month, and this is probably going to be the last stock that I analyze. I think it's going to be actually bigger than this previous one at 47 cents. I think we're going to see, because you could see here their August dividend to September was pretty much, it started about 130 and got up to about 135. So there's not too much volatility within there, but when looking at their previous month, we're looking at like about 138 down to $124. That's right. So I do think there's going to be a bigger dividend in AMZY. I'm going to estimate about 60 cents per share, which is going to bring that total dividend yield. What are we at right now? 30%. I'm going to say it's going to be about a 35 to 40% dividend. So with that being said, I know I didn't go over necessarily all the Yieldmax funds, but I do believe that a lot of them are fairly similar, like Amazon. The AMZY one is fairly similar to the Facebook, Google, and Netflix one. As you can see, their dividend yields, although these two are a little bit lagging behind, they're all relatively the same. I do think TSLY and NVDY are relatively similar, but that's just due to the fact that they're both paying pretty high dividends. And yeah, that is kind of like my opinion on the Yieldmax ETFs. I think overall, as a whole, we're going to see bigger yields in pretty much across the board, across all Yieldmax ETFs. And that's just due to the fact that we did see more volatility. Of course, it was to the downside, but in the month of September, in the month of August, stocks were pretty much flat. But in September, which is going to be the dividend for the October dividend, we've seen a lot more volatility. Even though it was to the downside, I do think we're going to see some bigger dividends. So that is something exciting to see if you've been investing in Yieldmax and you were kind of dissatisfied, let's say, with the previous dividend that they paid. I'm an investor in TSLY, and the dividend, it seemed like I was making the exact same as the previous month, but really the dividend went down. So hopefully this dividend is going to make up for that, and then we'll be able to reinvest. So with all that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys got a little perspective on what I think the Yieldmax ETFs are going to be paying this October, a little bit more than the September. So it's exciting to see. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I do want you guys to subscribe and join our channel if you're interested in anything like high dividends, or you have any of your own high dividend stocks to kind of like mention. Please do comment and I will do my best to get back to you. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys take care, keep investing, and I will see you guys in the next one.